Picture this scenario. You are in an argument with your girlfriend, and she starts going out of the way of the actual argument to start trying to hurt you, being really mean to you with things that have nothing to do with the discussion at hand. We've all been there. Let's see what we can do about this situation. First of all, you want to be happy, and your relationship is part of trying to get to that point. So first of all, you have to question yourself. Is this woman wanting the same thing as me? Is she wanting to be happy, and one of the factors of this is me? Or is she just using me for her selfish objectives? The very first step to accomplish your goal of having a healthy and happy relationship is choosing the right woman. There are women that get into relationships just to accomplish certain things that are different from love and happiness. You have to make sure when you choose that your girlfriend or future girlfriend, that prospect, is on the same page as you in this. It might be that it's not in her nature, or it might be that she is not in that frequency at this moment. If you have chosen someone that does not care about long-lasting love and harmony in a relationship, that relationship with that woman you chose is condemned to failure. We are not here to talk about that. That is the foundation of what comes next, solving things during the relationship. So from now on, we will presuppose that you chose the right woman. She deeply wants that same thing you want. But now she is being very hurtful towards you. She is doing things that are outside of the argument to make you feel bad. This is a very important alert. This is something you don't want in your life. So you have to be sure of what you want in your life so you can get rid of what you don't want. If you don't want these kind of things in your life, you must commit to yourself that you will not accept this a second time. But for the first time that we are going to take this matter and try to solve it, we will give her the chance. Of course, as we have spoke in the past, if you see that her intention is to solve these problems that come from her, and she trips in her way and makes some mistakes, but you see that her real intention is getting better at this, you can give her more chances. But only if this is the case. There will be many women that will maybe accept what we are going to talk about in a few moments, and then they will completely back out from that and will return to having the view and the frequency that they had prior to this conversation. You can't distinguish between these two attitudes, and you can act upon those differences. When during an argument this starts to happen, she starts to be mean and hurtful, you have to stop arguing about the topic of the actual argument, and you must change the topic that's being talked about to this attitude. Tell her that you will not try to solve the problem you were discussing until you discuss this and solve this, because this is more important. Of course, she will deny it, and she will start trying to talk again about the actual argument. But you have to deny her that. When she tries to deny you this new direction in the argument, explain this to her. Tell her that having these new negative elements in the argument will only destroy your relationship, and you don't want that. Tell her that you don't want someone treating you like that in your life. You can also tell her, I'm sure you wouldn't like someone like that in your life. I don't do this to you. Would you like me to do it? Of course she wouldn't like that. You don't need an answer. You know the truth. Even if she doesn't answer what you're saying to her sincerely, she will know that you know what she truly feels about this. Of course, it's okay for her when she is hurting you, and it will not be okay when you hurt her. So, once you establish that you don't want something like that in your life, she will get a hang of what's really going on here. She will start seeing the risk in which she is getting into. And she will now know that she isn't just getting her ego elevated because she can mistreat you. Now she will know that she can potentially lose you. She won't be happy with that. Maybe she will act like she's even more annoyed, even more angry at you. She will try to blame you for everything. That's a given. That will most likely happen. But you shouldn't care. You know the truth. And she does too. Speak to her as if she was admitting the truth. Don't mind her mind tricks and her manipulations. She, sooner or later, will start understanding that her schemes will not work in this particular argument. And with this, you will establish that in the future they might not work again. That's what we aim for. So, before speaking of what you can tell her from this point on, I want to talk to you about what should be happening inside of you. The first thing we tend to do is get very angry and enter this downward spiral of rage, and that ignites more and more the fire of the argument. Try to take a different approach to this. You know what you want and what you don't want. Step backward so you can have a wider perspective of what's going on. Step out of that rage you are feeling. Cool your mind and think about this. What do I want to get out of this interaction with her? Do I want to be enraged? Do I want to bend the knee to her and accept being treated this badly? Do I want this relationship to end? You clearly don't want any of the first two that I said. And you don't want to end the relationship, but your happiness and your wellness is more important. If your significant other is hurting you and making your life worse, you should consider getting her out of your life. So, for that third thing, you should consider this as an option. You don't want that to happen. That's why we will keep on with the argument, defending ourselves so we can save the relationship. If this doesn't work, it's because our girlfriend's will is very strongly directed towards destroying the relationship. And a relationship is built on two people, not just one. If you are the only one trying to make it work, it won't work ever. So, having that in mind, cool your head and speak to her as objectively as you can. As I said before, tell her that you don't want someone in your life treating you as she is treating you right now. Make her get a grasp of how serious this is. Now make it clear to her that this is much more important than the particular topic of the starting argument. This is what do each one of you want in this relationship. Do you want to care for it, or do you want to destroy it to feed your own ego? Tell her that you want to care for the relationship and you want to care for her as a person. Then ask her, do you want to care for me? And do you want to care for your relationship with me? Because if not, there is nothing else to say right now, and this must come to an end. If you are on the same page as me, then we can work something out, but you must stop acting like you want to destroy me and the relationship. If you are truly committed to this, then we can continue with this conversation, and of course in a completely different tone of what you are proposing right here. If you don't want this, or you are unsure, speak to me when you have thought about this and when you are ready. I will not keep speaking to you if you are in this frequency, with these vibes, and with this, at least seemingly, objective of negativity and distraction. I don't want this in my life. If you want it, you should look for it with another man. If you want to try to be happy and live in peace and harmony, then you should think about what you are doing, and once you have thought of it, speak to me, ask for forgiveness, and then we can speak about how to solve this. And once we have solved this, we will speak about the actual argument that started this whole situation and solve that. But we will solve that when you show in your attitude that you want to solve things and fix this situation so our relationship works out. Don't settle for anything less than that. If she doesn't want to say she's sorry, do not listen to her until she wants to say she is sorry. When you are in the wrong, you apologize to her, and she should do the same. This is a relationship in which both of you should be equals. It's unfair that only one of you will apologize when doing wrong, and that will lead to a very negative and tormented relationship. If you like this video, like and subscribe. See you next time.